Alright, really quickly, this is just so that you can see what I'm doing. I'll be writing on the board here, or this iPad. But sums are pretty easy to do once you realize you're just taking the sum of squares. So you're looking for areas under a curve, and you're barely learning about it. So most times they'll tell you, if you're using triangle method or square method, more than likely you're using the square method. And what that means is, in the beginning, you just need to know length times width, which is the area for a square. And length, like that. When you move forward in calculus, what you're doing is you have an equation graph. You could, they do different ones, but I'm going to just use the simple one here. So I'm going to say I want to find the area. Oh my gosh, that was so bad. Oh, let me do this again. I want to find the area of this, and it really doesn't matter what the function is. Okay. So to understand this, your left, right, and mid sums have to deal with the corners of the rectangle you're using. So let's say that you're trying to find the area, simple area here. So I'm going to put it like gray, so it's just, I'm marking it. So let's say I want to find this area from here to here, let's say. And like they shade it in and say, oh, you're going to find this area. That doesn't come later until you, this is like a much later lesson. So this is the area. But they want you to do it in smaller steps. So first they do some weird calculation, like this, watch. It'll be like, oh, here's x initial, or x1, and this one is x2. And then they're like, oh, do this weird calculation, x2 minus x1 over how many steps you want to take. And you're like, where are you talking about steps? And this will give you delta x. And you're like, what? Where are these letters coming from? So a couple of quick things here before we move forward. This here, this top part here, is just the range of values. So, for example, in miles, it'd be like, from here to there is 2 miles. That's what it's saying. That's what that top part's saying. The bottom part, the end part, this is like how many rectangles you want. Okay, so if you want 2 rectangles in your drawing, this is what they're saying. They're saying, oh, I want 2 rectangles. Split it in 2, so n is 2. So use a left sum. Okay. A left sum means this corner touches the white line. Okay. Oh, that's a left sum because you're using the top left. That's what they're doing. If you can say, oh, I'm going to do a right sum. That top corner of the two, see how they're different? That's why you need to do both, because you kind of average them. But that's where n equal to 2. And then let's say that, oh, we need more, we need to be more precise. Then that just means n's a bigger number, and they say, oh, we need, I don't know, 4 rectangles. So we're going to do a mid sum now. That's where the middle touches. Okay, the middle touches. The middle touches the white line. There. And then you got 4 square. N is 4. You got 4 rectangles. That's all what n means. How many rectangles are going to be. The last thing is delta. This symbol is a Greek symbol. You'll be using it later. But it's just the width. Okay? That's all it is how wide are these rectangles you're drawing, essentially. So this gets to be delta W, this gets delta, delta. It's how wide all the rectangles, they should be all the same width. There should be no difference in width. So they're all delta. That's, I don't know why they use it like that, but it's just called the delta. That's it. The hard part here though is now that you have your rectangles and you have your width, you're missing a key piece. You are missing the length. How do we get the length? Well, in this case, because I'm using a mid, where it touches right here, this is my first Y value because it's my length. It's how wide this side is. That's all it is. Let me use green instead of use green because I don't want you to get confused with the colors. Okay, that you're just finding length, the Y values, the midpoint. Okay, they want you to find the length now because you need the length and you need the width for each of them to get the area inside the 4 rectangles I drew. And you could do it for anything. Like if we tried it all over again and say this, my function here for Y will look like, I don't know, looks like that. I don't know why I put arrows on this one. I want to approximate, is what they call it, approximate the area under the curve from here to here. Okay, so this part's, when they say under the curve, what they mean is from the white line to the x-axis. So those are the 2 areas I want to approximate. Next, I can go in, I use my equation to find my width now. I want to go from here to here. I want, I don't know, 3 boxes, let's say. So right here I cut them into perfect. So then, I don't know, x2 minus x1 is how far apart they are. I want 3 boxes because I have 3 rectangles. And it's going to give me my exact width. This is going to be a number here. Oh, it's pretty dark. I should probably lighten that for you. I don't know, my eyes are used to dark, so. Okay. Now I can start drawing. Let's say we wanted a left sum. So the left side of each rectangle has to touch the white line. So left. There's my first box. The next one has to be right here. Okay. I don't use the top part. I only use the bottom part because the left side has to touch the white line. Then when I go to the last box, I go up on top now because the left, top left, bottom left, left side of the rectangle has to touch the white line. This is for a left sum. The last one up here, this was a mid sum because the middle part of the rectangle touched the white line. Okay, and like a right sum, let's just do it real quick. For a right sum, it would look like this. The top right touches the line, bottom right touches. See the difference between the two? They kind of just, I don't know, they're just like that. That's a right sum. Okay, and all you're doing is, if you're doing the left sum again, you're just finding the area of that first rectangle, second rectangle, third rectangle. For the right sum, that's the third rectangle, second rectangle, third. See? 3 areas, add them together to give you an approximation under the curve.